In this video, I'll show you how carbs lead to stress, and not the regular kind of stress you're used to hearing about, but another kind of stress, one that happens all throughout our body at a cellular level. I'll share why that's no bueno at all, and I'll give you a tactic that will help you dramatically mitigate the negative effects without giving up the carbs you love so much. Hi, my name is Stefano, founder of Transparency Foods. I have created 3 monk fruit sweetener products used by over 100,000 people, and I also happen to have a long history of diabetes in my family, so this topic is very close to my heart. Click the like button, subscribe, and let's get right into it. The first thing you need to know is that whenever we have carbohydrates, especially refined carbohydrates like regular soda or a big piece of cake, our blood sugar levels will spike a lot and fast, and this will lead to our body having more glucose than it can handle. This throws our body into a state of stress, not the mental kind we're all used to, but a stress at a cellular level all throughout our body. And this is not limited to one organ or one system. This literally affects trillions of cells that make up our tissues, or blood vessels, or nerves, or neurons, or skin, everything. Now, I'll geek out a little bit on this video, and you might not remember everything I'm about to say, but that's okay. The only thing that I want you to remember is this. Blood glucose spikes, which happen when we give our bodies more glucose than it can handle, result in cellular damage all throughout our bodies. This damage literally chips away at our health in a systemic way at a cellular level, leading to huge consequences, as we will see later. Now, this stress that I'm talking about is called oxidative stress, and this is how it works. Inside our body, there's a natural balance between two forces. There's pro-oxidants and antioxidants. Pro-oxidants are reactive molecules like free radicals, which we'll be talking about in this video. They're not inherently bad. In fact, they help kill harmful bacteria, support the immune system, and even help signal cells to respond to stress. Antioxidants, on the other hand, are molecules that neutralize excess free radicals or pro-oxidants and protect cells from damage. Again, both are essential. However, when we start producing too many pro-oxidants and don't have enough antioxidants to keep them in check, we enter into a state of imbalance, and this is called oxidative stress. This allows free radicals to damage things they should not be damaging, like DNA, protein, cell membranes, and other things. And that's where problems begin. There's a lot of things that can cause oxidative stress in our bodies, but having a lot of glucose, or I should say, an excess of glucose, is one of the top ones. So how do carbs, or more specifically, glucose spikes, create free radicals? Well, when blood sugar rises rapidly, our metabolic system gets overwhelmed. It suddenly needs to process a large amount of glucose, and that rapid processing triggers the production of free radicals. This happens through multiple pathways, but most of it occurs in the mitochondria, the tiny little energy factories inside our cells. When the mitochondria is forced to burn through large amounts of glucose quickly, they generate extra byproducts, and some of these are free radicals. Think of it as like revving the engine of a huge truck really hard. You burn a lot more gas, but you also get a lot more smoke, and that extra smoke in the form of free radicals overwhelms our antioxidant defenses, and the result, again, is oxidative stress. Let's dive deeper into why oxidative stress is harmful, right? Now, oxidative stress sounds bad, but let's actually discuss why it is harmful. Oxidative stress has been linked in a lot of studies to a wide range of health issues, including DNA damage, which can lead to cell malfunction or mutations, inflammation, which contributes to many chronic diseases, blood vessel damage, a key factor in cardiovascular disease, which is the #1 killer in the US, accelerated aging, Alzheimer's, and more. This is not speculation, right? This is backed by decades of clinical research, and I actually put together a list of clinical studies that back this up, which you can find in the description below. As you will see, the impact of oxidative stress is very deep, and it has both short-term consequences like fatigue and long-term consequences like higher risk of cardiovascular disease, which again is the #1 killer in the US, again, Alzheimer's, cancer, and more. It's important to note that oxidative stress happens even if you have normal blood glucose levels. Your fasting blood glucose levels might be healthy, but if you just have a muffin and orange juice for breakfast, your blood sugar will go up a lot. And for a period of time, your body will experience oxidative stress. And this adds up. You can keep doing this for a long time before your fasting blood sugar levels catch up and start creeping up to pre-diabetic levels. And there's a lot of cellular damage that can happen in that time. In other words, you don't have to wait to have unhealthy blood sugar levels before you start working on mitigating your blood sugar spikes. You can start today. Okay, let me just bring everything together because I said a lot, and as I said before, it's okay if you don't remember everything, but again, I want you to remember this. Blood glucose spikes, which happen when we have more glucose in our system than we can handle, result in cellular damage all throughout our bodies. And this leads to serious short-term and long-term consequences to our health. Okay, so now that we understand the problem, how can we work on this? What is an easy solution, an easy way to get started? Well, for me, the easiest way to start is to just remove carbs from our breakfast. That's it. I usually have 4 eggs and a little bit of feta cheese, tomato, and avocado. This allows my body to maintain a relatively steady glucose level all the way until lunch. Now, aside from all the long-term benefits of having one less massive glucose spike a day, which is what most Americans have after, eating bagels, orange juice, cereal, whatever it is, I also get a lot of short-term benefits. More specifically, I feel more centered. I don't get cravings or anxiety, so I'm able to focus more for longer. I used to have a lot of carbs and a lot of coffee for breakfast, and let me tell you something. That's a perfect recipe for an emotional roller coaster. All those carbs made me feel tired, make myself a big cup of coffee, right? And then get to work, and you know what would happen next. My body will bring my blood sugar down, usually lower than it was in the first place, so I would get cravings. And if you add lots of caffeine on top of those cravings, you get a feeling of restlessness and anxiety. And it was hard for me to just sit on my desk for 30 minutes without feeling like I wanted to go down to the kitchen and just eat something. If you try this, please reach out and let me know how it worked for you. Also, another way to tackle this is to simply eat fiber before the rest of your meals. You don't have to eat less carbs, just eat more fiber. I made a whole video on this, so make sure to check it out if interested.